congregation.
There you go. Amen.
Well, first of all, the album Seen It All is in stores today, so it's a huge day.
Yeah, it's like, it's like my birthday right now.
Now, what happened to the original title? Wasn't it supposed to be called the Statute of Limitations is Over?
Nah, that was just the concept, you know what I'm saying? That was just where I was coming from. I never really told my real story, and I just feel like that was my story. Most of the time my music is about what other people go through, what I, encountered, I seen, but this is my story.
Gotcha.
This what they saw, you know what I mean? This what we live, you know what I mean? It's A-time.
You said you had a rough week, though, and you definitely did have a rough week.
Yeah, we were looking for you last night in the club, but you said you were sleeping. You had a rough week?
I know I had to deal with y'all this morning, man. I had to give me some rest, you know what I mean?
I know there's certain things you can't talk about, but one of the things was the bail. We were wondering, is Jeezy going to get out? What happened?
The hood wants to know what took so long for you to post bail.
Oh, man, if y'all really want to know, man, I'm a real one. And it's just like, whatever happened, they kind of, they detained my bus driver, two of my bus drivers, which one was a 50-something-year-old lady, my cameraman, whatever. And, I'm just such a real person, and I know, we was there to the right, that I just felt like I couldn't leave him in there. When I stepped in the door, I had, bailsmen right there to get me out. And I just made it clear, like, when I leave, we leaving together. Point blank period.
So how much did you have to put up to get everybody out?
I mean, that's public information.
Was it a mill or 10%? What was it?
I mean, it was just, it was some bread.
Did you scratch your head a little like, Jesus Christ, a mill?
Nah, man, at the end of the day, I just felt like, real talk, man, it's just like, you go through things in life, and that's just what that was, man. It's only money, but, it was more so about the principle to me. You know what I mean? I wasn't leaving no man behind. I don't care how it went down. We could have sat in there, how long.
So now you have to fight everybody's case, the bus driver's case. You got to pay for lawyers for all that?
All I'm going to say is, man, when this is all said and done, I don't want to get into the investigation because that's what's going on, but when this is all said and done, you know what I'm saying, I'm confident that you will see that, knowing me or anybody that was a part of my crew had anything to do with anything. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
Okay. They had you in a holding cell separate from everybody?
I mean, yeah, they was trying to handle me at first. You know what I mean?
They was trying to see what everybody knew, basically.
Separate you.
Nah, I mean, it wasn't even really like that, man. It was, like I said, I don't want to really get into it because obviously they're still investigating it, but it's just like, things happen, but when this is all said and done, we'll be on top, trust me, man. I'm 100% confident that it wouldn't be nothing else for me and my team.
I know. I have to say I was surprised because I knew you have a lot of things going on, obviously, with the album coming out, and I was like, is he going to cancel everything? Is he going to feel up to it?
I wasn't going to cancel Breakfast Club in Atlanta. You crazy?
we thought for sure this was canceled. We was like, well, we're not going to Atlanta.
He's making other plans.
They was like, Jeezy said, bring your ass down there. We're going to make this happen.
Yeah, no, I wanted everybody to be here, man. This is big for the town, it's big for the city, man. But like I said, I don't want to keep elaborating on that. You know what I mean? That's in the past. But I will say this. When everything comes out and everything comes to the clear, I want to come and do this same interview so we can talk about how innocent I was. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Now, the record Seen It All, did it scare you to hear Jay-Z speak so openly? Because I've never heard him mention Emery so much on the record.
I mean, it's dope, though, because it's crazy because I know Emery. Like, me and Emery probably kick it more
to Emery.
Yeah, me and Emery probably kick it more than me and Jay, nowadays because, everybody busy. But Emery will pull up on you. But Emery's such a good dude, man. It's just like, so to hear Jay talk about what really happened in their story, it was kind of real to me because I know Emery and I know how much of a stand-up dude he was, so it just kind of made me respect him even more. You know what I'm saying?
Did you have to call Jay and be like, you sure you want this verse out? You sure you want the public knowing all this?
I mean, statute of limitations is up quite soon enough for him. He's been in the game 10 years longer than me, so it was time. You know what I mean? I just felt like even for me, just the whole hopping out at, Magic City in that 645, that was like one of the highlights of my life. You know what I'm saying? That's what made me. That's what made Jeezy. So I'm quite sure what he was going through in Marcy, that's what made him, Hove, and why we respect and love Hove. So, just being that far removed and still being able to go back and, just talk about that, it just made me respect him even more. You know what I'm saying?
Why do you and Hove got the bond y'all do? Because since day one, he's been co-signing you.
We just real. I mean, we just see life alike, man. We just, both young, just successful black men that just strive on being successful and breaking the bar. And we came from, a place that was considered nowhere until we made it. I didn't know about Marcy Projects until, Hove got on. A lot of people didn't know what the trap was in Atlanta or the streets was of Atlanta until, I got on. And it's like, it's 10 years for me and maybe 20 for him. And we still pushing for excellence and success and just pushing the bar to show people that, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? You could be anything you want to be, no matter where you come from.
Right. Now, we were talking earlier behind the scenes, actually on air, about you being underrated. Do you think you're underrated as an artist?
Exactly, I do.
And why is that?
Because only a few people understand, you know, my message and where I come from and what I'm kicking. Like, I'm not going to sit on the, you know, I'm not going to go and waste my time in the studio and talk about, you know, what I got or what I accumulated. I want to, you know, I want to empower you. I want to motivate you. I want to give you inspiration. You know, that's why, you know, they calling me Pastor Young. It's like, you know, you don't go to church to hear the preacher talk about himself. You know what I'm saying?
Wave your church fans, y'all. You've seen it all, church fans.
You don't go, I mean, you know, just that, you know, when I was a kid, man, I was always the young cat. Like, you know, older cats, it was 35, 36, would ask me my opinion on things that really could, you know, that really had serious consequences because I was a thinker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was always a leader. Like, I would lead, you know, cats that was, you know, 10, 15 years my age and be like, yo, this is what we gonna do. So all y'all get together and this is how we gonna handle this. And then when they seen, you know, just the us being productive and the success come behind it, that's why people started respecting me. So it's like either people, you know, you can rule by fear, or you can rule by love. And my whole thing was ruling by love, like making people respect, you know, me, because it's always about us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, Big Meech was your homie in the street. Jay's your big homie in the music industry. Do you see any similarities between the two?
All the time, man. You know what I mean? I remember sitting in the back of the Maybach with Meech having real conversations about life, just about things that people probably wouldn't even know he was into or he just inspired to do. And I remember having conversations in the back of Jay-Z's Maybach with him about life and about things that he was doing, and it was like, what you think? You know what I mean? And I tell people that, like, those are two of my best friends, man. And it's kind of crazy because they both alike. You know what I mean? I even remember the time, it was right down the street when I introduced them for the first time. You know what I mean? It was my Trap or Die album release party. And I think J and B came, and, you know, me and Meech and everybody was there. And I was like, yo, Jay, this Meech is Jay. And it was crazy because it was like introducing, you know, two guys that should have met a long time ago. You know?
Right.
Real talk.
Now, do you think, we're talking to Jeezy, by the way, if you want to holler, 800-585-1051, a hashtag Breakfast Club Jeezy if you have some questions. Now, you think at first when you came out, you weren't necessarily a people person, but you opened up a lot. Because at one time, nobody talked to Jeezy. I ain't talking to that crazy.
Envy always going to hold a grudge about this.
Envy speaking for himself.
No, what's that? But Jeezy.
He's like, man, Jeezy, I couldn't call you. You wasn't tweeting me back.
At one time, you wouldn't talk to Jeezy in the club, but now he seems more open.
Envy just wanted to text you good morning with some Maya Angelou.
I texted him good morning.
I'm going to keep it 100, man. Like, you know, and I must say, man, I'm from the streets, and we was just raised by a different code, and it's just like nobody around my way was famous. So when all these people coming at you, you always just trying to see their motive. You know what I mean? You're just trying to see who got a motive, and it's just like this industry was different for me, so it took me a while to figure out who was with me and who was against me, and you know, because this is different than the streets. This is in the streets. You know, you got two options. You go to jail, or you gonna be in that pine box. That's just how the consequences are. With this, people will trick you off your feet for everything you work for. You know what I mean? Everything you try to do and represent yourself as, you can let people get close, and then when they spin off you, is what they say about you. You don't got time to like fight that battle. So I was just always taught as a man to keep, you know, I tell my son every day, man, keep your circle small.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's just what it was. The industry wasn't my circle. You know what I mean? I just knew of DJ Envy. You know what I mean? And I knew of Charlamagne and Angelique E. So it's just like I had to get to know y'all. If you ask anybody from Def Jam or anybody that worked anywhere, it took a while for me to be like, okay, yeah, I get it. You rocking with it.
Gotcha.
But on Jay on the other end, it's just like different because what would he want from me other than, you know what I'm saying, to be 100. You know what I mean? So it was different. It was like, how can I help you?
Gotcha.
I think we gotta take a break.
Okay.
Now we gonna get into a joint. Let's get on the put on. Let's do it. All right. 800-585-1051. Jeezy's here. We're live. ATL, make some noise. Hashtag Breakfast Club Jeezy. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Let's go.
What's happening?
New album in stores right now. Seen it all. Make sure you get it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about the song "Beautiful." I really like that song.
Yeah.
On the album, do you consider yourself and Rick Ross to be friends for real? Like y'all talk to each other and hit each other up?
You know, it's a work in progress. You know what I'm saying? Like we grown men. You know what I mean?
Friends is a tough word.
Yeah.
Because y'all was brawling at the BET Awards and.
I mean, you know.
And then now the turn, but you guys are working together doing songs. But is that somebody that you say, okay, you know, we had a heart to heart, we squashed everything, we discussed it?
I mean, we just, you know, with the title "Seen It All," you know, I gotta be honest. You know, I just had to come with the terms of being an adult. and being a leader. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, ignorance is, you know, one thing, and being about your business is another. And when me and homie finally had a chance for us to talk and not nobody talk between us, we saw everything alike.
Right.
And we made great music before. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you know, why wouldn't you make great music? And it's just like, you know, at the end of the day, that's what the world needs. You know what I mean? More so than, you know, people just, you know, going back and forth. Because the way I looked at it is like, you know, people get hurt. I've been in them situations before. And it's never you. You know what I mean? It's somebody around you, and it's just like, it wasn't worth that to neither one of us. You know what I mean? I think the music is more important. Look at Beautiful. That song would have never came about if two adults wouldn't have had, you know, a conversation. And when I say I seen it all, you know, I really grew up. You know what I'm saying? You know, I came in the game, I was a different dude. And it's just like, now I see just the world different, you know, opportunities and things you can get done more so than just pulling yourself back.
What changed your mind? Was it, like, what changed? Because y'all was so into the thick of it. Like, what was the thing that was like, you know what? Let's squash this. Like, what was that thing?
It wasn't even that. It was more so that, you know, the media and mediators talking, but well, not mediators, instigators, you know, just talking between two adults. And, you know, rap is a competition. You got fans. When I grew up, I love Tupac. You know what I mean? A lot of people love Biggie. And it's just like, when you wake up and understand that people are always going to compare, because that's what it is, then, you know, you got to be an adult about the situation. Like, you can't be like, you know, because you play for the 76ers and I play for the, you know, for the Heat, we can't dap each other up after the game. It's a competition. You know what I'm saying? And just like, once you realize that, and I kind of was just like, I took the street element out of it, you know what I mean? Because when I get into situations with people, you know, I look at it like, you know, it could be some harm done to me, just like it could be some harm done to them.
Right.
And it's like, it wasn't like that. It was just two grown men need to talk to each other and not send your manager over here, or this guy, you know, some cat you might think you know from the street. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, man, listen, what's the deal?
I heard you say on Combat Jack show that beef is corny.
It is, man.
What made you come to that conclusion?
I mean, you know, because I'm grown, man. You know what I mean? It's just like, I got a son, man. I don't got time to be, you know, walking around, and we can't go to the mall because I feel like, you know, if something pop off, I mean, if somebody, you know, disrespect me, you know, we gonna handle it there. Yeah, I don't want to worry about you tomorrow, but the term beef, I don't want my son in school and catch like your dad beefing with such and such. You know, like, I don't like that, man. I don't like, you know, you ride with me and we rolling and you don't want to play a song because it's somebody else on the song. I love all music.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? That's corny, man. I don't, you know, that's emotions. I'm a man. I'm a man's man. I'm not I'm not emotional. That's a female trait. You feel me?
Hey.
Now also you put the executive hat on.
Yep.
That's just so you know, men are very emotional. Y'all just try to act.
I mean, listen, I'm emotional about other things.
Now you put the executive hat on. You picked up YG.
Yeah, man.
Where did you find YG? Did you know it was going to be as big as it was when he came out?
I swear, man, for the first time in my life, you know, I really felt like, you know, when I met YG, I was like, man, this kid is a star. You know what I mean? Just about, he just embodied what LA was. You know, I've been to LA so many times, and LA's like, you know, one of my second homes, and he's LA. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and he was young, and he was with it. Like, you know, you can talk to YG. Even before we started doing business, I would call him and be like, yo, man, what are you doing? It's been so many times I call YG and be like, yo, YG, don't do that, man. You know, even when he got on his beef tip and I was like, man, you about to blow up. You don't need that. I've been through that before, man. Like, why would you take yourself back? You can be bigger than all these cats if you know what I'm saying, if you embrace them, because you can be the king of LA. You know what I mean? And it's just like with YG, man, he was just always, you know what I mean? He was just always wanting to, you know, he spent his own money. You know what I'm saying? He was on point. He was passionate about his music, and all he just needed was that, you know, that trial and trail that I had been through with, you know, Def Jam. And I just, you know, with the Def Jam was like, yo, man, this kid been over here 3 years, man. Let me just get him. Moved him down to Atlanta for 3 months and got him, you know, out of, you know, what he was into. And brought him here, and we locked in patchwork. And I told him, I was like, man, your album got to be a day in the life of what it is to be a young gangster. And that's what we did. Me, him, and Mustard, Sycamore, we got in.
Y'all put together a great album.
Yeah, we got in and we killed it.
Well, listen, how come as an executive, I want you to answer this as an executive.
Already.
How come YG worked but Freddie Gibbs did?
I think, you know, like I said, YG, YG just was a different person, man. You know what I'm saying? YG was about his business. You know what I'm saying? YG wasn't looking for me to do everything for him. And, you know, just he didn't have a problem spending his money. He didn't have a problem, you know, using his team, and it was just like, it wasn't a Jeezy thing. It was just like, how can you help me do what I'm trying to do, rather than you do it for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
When we come back, I want to know what got so nasty with you and Freddie Gibbs, because at one time it was tight, and then it just all of a sudden just self-destructive. So we'll get into that when we come back.
You do know I got an album out, right?
We're going to talk about the album. We're going to play some cuts off the album. We're going to do a Jeezy mix this morning as well. So hashtag right now, Breakfast Club Jeezy. Let us know your favorite Jeezy joint. We're going to get that on during the mix. And keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Thank you so much for bringing us here. It's our first time broadcasting live in Atlanta.
Welcome
the Breakfast
Atlanta,
Club.
baby.
For seeing it all, so thank you.
Welcome to Atlanta, man. Seen it all in stores right now. If you ain't got it, go get it. Hurry up.
Now, is Def Jam doing right by you now? Because at one point you threatened to leak your album if they didn't do right.
I mean, no, man. It's just like, you know, I'm my own boss, man. It's just like, you know, sometimes, you know, when you're in business with people, you know, you don't see eye to eye on things. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, I'm not in this for commerce. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in this for money. You know, anybody that know me know that that ain't my mission. That ain't how, you know, that ain't just my way of thinking. You know what I mean? I'm in this for the streets. I'm in this for the people. I'm in this for the fans. And it's just like, you know, when they need my music, I want to be able to give it to them. And it's just like, I was just like, look, man, if y'all want to wait to put the album out, I'm just going to put it out myself, because these people want the music. You know what I mean? And you know, I think to them it's different because they're a business, they're an entity. And to me, you know what I'm saying, I'm a leader, I'm a street figure. So it's just like, you know, when it's time to talk that, you got to talk that. And it ain't about the money and waiting and just trying to meet a quota. And I just think, you know, just no disrespect to them, it was just like, I wanted to put the music out, whether it sold 1,000 or 1 million, because I feel like it needed to be heard. And I was watching the game and watching the whole board. I felt like it was time to talk.
And what do they feel like? You needed more albums or more of a setup? Or?
No, they just probably had some other things in their pipeline, and just, you know, was, you know, my albums, you know, tend to do pretty well. So it's like, you know, maybe they wanted me for another quarter.
Oh, okay.
And it was just like, you know, I get it, but I'm ready to drop now.
They
man.
wanted that fourth quarter look. They needed that Christmas money.
You know what I mean? And I know we was talking earlier about, you know, just, you know, the whole Bell situation and just me, but let me just tell you what type of person I am. You know, like even right now, you know what I'm saying, my Street Dreams Foundation started the Another Way Out Foundation, a scholarship, and actually we're going to Jay Morrison today, and I'm going to give away $1 million. That's $1 million.
I hope you sell 1 million albums. That 1 million is a lot.
$1 million.
1 million everywhere.
And that's for real estate investments.
Yeah, real estate investments and young entrepreneurs and just, you know, just you know, giving them another avenue to, you know, build and be young, you know, just young creators and come up with things that can, you know, just help their families and their team.
Now,
that is very exciting.
I said $1 million.
You said $1 million. Give him a round of applause. He's giving away $1 million.
And we're doing that today, by the way.
Now, how can somebody who's a young entrepreneur that wants to get involved in real estate, there's a lot of people with their hands up right now that want some of that $1 million. How can they get to that $1 million where they can start to invest?
Well, actually, we're giving it to Jay Morris Academy, so they got to go to Jay Morris and get that. You know what I'm saying? But, nah, man, you know, it's just about, you know, giving back, you know, to the community, man. It's just like, you know, I'd rather spend my money and money on real things that can help real people, man. You know?
Well, can I get a Rolex? I just want a Rolex.
Oh,
man.
shut up,
man. That's all.
It's a great investment. It's true, because I did just buy my first house, and it's amazing. Like, you think you can't do it until you have to do it. Yeah, until you do it. There's
no feeling like it. You know what I mean? You know, I tell them all the time, I'm a great catch, man. I'm a street cat with some good credit.
Good credit.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about your son a little bit, because you mentioned him a whole lot today.
Yeah.
And I know back in January there was some issues or whatever. So
Absolutely.
Why don't you explain what happened with you and your son? And you know, it seems like you have you've been talking about him so much today and as of late. So explain your relationship with your son.
Explain the issues for people that don't know what happened, because it was a while ago.
It was some domestic violence situation, they said, with your son that you got arrested for.
You know, like I said, man, you know, me and my son, we love each other very much. And it's just like, you know, he's a young adult now. So, you know, I just you know, we got to just respect each other's mind a little bit different, and we just kind of move past that whole thing. You know what I mean? It's about family and love, and actually it put us in a better place. You know what I mean? Just seeing what the world had to say about our family and knowing where we came from. Like, my son is really from the projects, just as I. You know what I mean? We really came from the struggle, and just like now to see him, you know, picking his colleges and want to go to school in LA, and just you know, he just started his clothing line, Airline Society, something like that.
Okay.
But it's dope though. I mean, International Fly Airlines. That's what's it.
Yeah, he'd be mad at you. You don't get his brand
Come on, Dad, you didn't block my line.
Got to get son's brand right.
He got a couple of them, but that's the one I like. And, I mean, just to see him, just, you know, wanting to live his dreams. You know what I mean? And you know, my whole thing with my son is he wanted to be a rapper, and I just wanted him to know, like, you know, this ain't for no chain or no Rolexes or no cars, because I had all that before. And it's just like, if you ain't willing to, you know, lay down and die about this, then I don't think you should be in it. This is no different than being in a Martin Luther King situation or Malcolm X. It's just like, when you say these words, you got to stand on them. You know what I mean? Especially when you're out here in these streets. And I just was like, you know, I felt like this wasn't no different than me being in the streets. I didn't want him to grow up and want to be a hustler.
Right.
And I definitely didn't want him to grow up and want to be a rapper. And it's just like, when we got that established, just me and him was in a better place. So just to see him now, you know what I'm saying, on time for school.
Nah, yeah, you need that sometimes.
Yeah.
And me and Charlamagne were talking about it, you know, because we have children, and I mean, I remember.
Charlamagne, you got kids?
You got one.
A 6-year-old daughter.
I got one.
I was a hoe in the past life, so you know, hoes get daughters.
Stop it. So I just remember, you know, as a child, you know, you test your pops, and your pops might have to put hands on you. You know
I mean, but
your pops might have to straighten you out. It was what it was.
Just so you know, and by the way, it wasn't even really there, but I think in his whole 18 years, I never scolded my son not one time. I always went to him as his friend, because it was back and forth between me and his mother.
Right.
And, you know, they live a totally different life than what we live. And my thing was, you know, if you're going to be with me, you have to be responsible, man. Like, you can't just be, because you're my son and people know that. And it's like, when you do things, the whole world knows. So just as long as you understand that, I have no problem with you being with me every day. And just so you know, I went and got my son and brought him to live with me. You know what I'm saying? As a man.
This is the first time he's lived with you since.
Well, yeah, really. I went and got him, and he was almost of age.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I can't let my son turn, 17, 18 years old, and me not be very influential in his life, because he's becoming a young adult. And I don't want to see my son sitting behind bars because he ain't had nobody there to really talk him through it. You know what I mean? You don't want to see your kids go through that, because in there you're going to be Jeezy's son, and I don't think it's going to be that easy for you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well, now, back to the music. Why do you take so long between albums?
I gotta live, Charlamagne. It's like, this, and I want you to know that, man. Like I say, it ain't about quotas, it ain't about money to me. Like, this is about real life, man. And it's like, what I go through in my life, or what I see others go through in my experiences, I put it in my music. And it's like, I don't just go in the studio and write raps. You know what I'm saying? I live. And then when I see myself make a mistake, or I see somebody around me make a mistake, or I see somebody around me be successful, or I see somebody around me get jammed up or killed or murdered, like, I speak on that, because that's my life. And sometimes you have to live. So Seen It All was me living for 3 years going, man, who am I to this game? Like, am I going to be the guy that still talk about standing on the corner when I know I ain't? Or I'm still riding around doing this when I know I ain't? Let me give you a life experience. Let me tell you what it's like to be a cat from the trap and 10 years in the rap, and you got all these positive things going for yourself, but they still want to put you in a box. Let me tell you, about that. Let me tell you what your 10 years is going to be like. Look at everybody's 10-year plan. What makes my 10-year plan different from Jay-Z's? You know what I'm saying? I'm halfway there. Another 10 years in the game, and I can be as he. But at the same time, he had to carve out another space. That's what the Black Album was about.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? It's like where Pac got, and with All Eyes on Me and Machiavelli. Like, who know what his next body of work would have been? Maybe he would have felt different. You know what I mean? But it's about living, so it ain't about just going in the studio and smoking a lot and coming up with some songs.
How long was you holding that Seen It All record? Did you do that immediately? Did you have that in the stash? Wait.
No, I had it. I did it, but the thing was about it. Like, Jay wanted to use it on the Magna Carta too.
And you was like, hell no! I know what this is. You're not letting that go.
No, he came out too fast. So the whole thing was he was gonna drop, and I was talking to him. He's like, I'm gonna drop on the 4th of July. I was like, that's next week, dog. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna put it out digitally. I was like, well, that ain't giving me enough time.
Right.
So I just hit him, and I was like, yo, man, I really think, it's my album title is, title track and everything, so I really think it should just go on my album. And, Jay's such a real dude. He's like, cool, man, run it.
Well, let's get into that record right now. I hope the producer got it up. I just threw an audible. Let's get into the record right now. Seen It All is in stores right now. Let's get into it right now.
He done got us some Avion.
Already.
Now, Pastor Young, you touched on it a little bit last time. What do you call your music now? Because you're not in the trap no more, so you can't call it trap music.
Man, it's just life music at this point, man. I just, with all my latest experience, man, I just talk about life, man. It's like having a conversation with somebody. You know what I mean? I think if you listen to Seen It All from top to bottom, you know what I mean. That's pretty much, all my albums compiled into one. It's just like those are the things I went through. Like from Quarter Block to What You Say. Like those are the highlights of my life to Four Zones, which was probably one of the worst points in my life, to all the way to Win is a Win, just speaking on Shake and just what I experienced, because when you think about it, man, it's like real talk. It's like I went through a lot in the streets, but I also went through a lot in the industry as well. Right. So it's just like I don't think young cats coming up today understand that. Like they just think you're gonna get in this game and you're gonna get a whole bunch of money and that's just gonna be it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Real life things happen in that. So I just think seeing it all is just like everything put together and just one serving. It's just like, okay, this is me.
Now with the sales of the music industry so far down, has the label ever tried to say, make more of a crossover record, make it more of a rhythmic or
you gotta do a record with Justin Bieber.
Something like that. Have they ever tried that with you?
You know damn well they would never try that with me. And that ain't, you know what I mean? I don't really even, they're not even really in the process of my recording. You know what I mean? They just like, I come to them like, these are my singles and this is how I feel and this is the concept. And this is what I wanted to look like, and this is what I wanted to feel like, and this is the rollout. Let's get it.
Right.
You've also been talking to Meek Mill while he's in jail.
Yeah, I talked to Meek, man. Free Meek, man. It's the homie, man.
What kind of advice have you been giving Meek Mill?
I mean, just to be more focused when he get home, and just kind of keep his eyes on everything, man, because he was in a great place. You know what I'm saying? He was really moving, and I just, I like how everybody support him. That just show you. That just show you how special that is. You know what I mean?
Who turned the music up?
Who's that, Don Cannon?
I don't know.
Let's talk about everything that Jeezy does, because we all know you as an entrepreneur. Obviously, you have your own label.
Yeah.
You also
CTE World.
CTE. You also are an A&R.
Shouts out to YG. Yeah. I'm the.
You getting a lot of money. You getting a lot of money out
head
there.
Head of A&R of Atlantic Records.
Because we're counting your pockets over here. Okay, you also have Avion Tequila. What's your involvement with that?
I mean, I'm pretty much the brand ambassador. You know what I mean? I mean, not like endorse it, but it's something I happen to be a big part of. You know what I mean? So from the marketing to the planning, just the whole thing.
And you have the clothing line?
8732. You know what I'm saying?
All right. What am I missing?
And we just did the Rich Homie Corn thing for him, so I just kind of empowered Rich Homie Corn, and definitely, I mean, my charity stuff. I got some things going on that you wouldn't know about.
Jeezy making some dollars over there.
Tell us some things. I want to hear some things.
Got a bunch of hats.
I don't want to get into
all the money. Jeezy just want all the money.
I don't want to get into it. We can talk more about this album, though.
I want to talk about the album, too, but, the situation that happened last week, do situations like that make you feel like, damn, I can't escape the streets no matter what I do?
Nah, man, situations like that make me feel like, I got to go harder, man, and I got to be, I got to lead by example, man. Mine a setback for a major comeback, man, you know what I mean? And I'm just happy to be out here and be able to promote my album and to be able to touch my people and to be able to talk that talk. Because once they listen to the music and, they're going to feel like that's Jeezy, man. And things happen in life and it's times like this and music like that that get you through it. But that's for anybody,
Well, we're happy you're home. The album's in stores right now. Seen it all. We're live in the ATL. Let's get to a joint off the album.
This is my favorite record thus far. I've only listened to the album once.
Okay.
Such as of now. And this is my favorite record on the album as of right now.
Already.
It's called Enough.
Enough. Let's go. Off that album, Seen It All in stores right now. Make sure you pick it up. It's the Breakfast Club. DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God.
Right now.
Now,
get that.
Pastor Young, do you read self-help books? Because when I hear records like Enough or Sky's the Limit off the first album, they empower me like books like Seed of the Soul or The Power of Intention. Like, where do you get the motivation to write those kind of records?
I mean, I get the motivation from life, man. It's just like everything. My whole career and my whole movement is just based off adversity, man. Like everything I ever been through just was based on me believing, in myself and the people around me and just keeping it pushing. And it's just like, I look at it, if I was to write a book like that would be a chapter.
Right, gotcha.
And when I get in the studio, man, I don't even know where it come from, man. It's just like, that enough. And you're right, that's one of my favorite songs too. And it's like, when you say, "Oh Lord, I woke up this morning and started praying,"
yes, sir.
And the only people around me know what I'm saying.
That's ghetto gospel.
That's ghetto gospel.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's got soul. You're not rapping to rhyme. You're not rapping to impress. You talking straightforward. Like I went through this. Like how me and y'all together. How we gonna miss?
Yeah. So when you gonna open up your mega church in Atlanta, man?
I don't know, man.
Can't let Eddie Long get all the money.
Tell Eddie Long I'm coming for him.
Oh, my goodness. Now don't go anywhere. We got more with Jeezy. Seen it all the albums in stores right now. We're live at ATL. Make some noise, ATL.
Y'all better turn up out there, man. I bought chicken and waffles, Seen it all in stores right now.
We just heard the song with Future. You said you did that video in where'd you do it, St. Thomas?
St. Thomas, yeah. It was I just, I wanted to kind of put everybody in perspective. That's how I feel like life is. It's a beautiful thing. but it's, you know, it's so much struggle and hustling. And if you ever go to St. Thomas, it's a beautiful place, you know, as far as tourism. But when you go into the, you know, into the where the people at in the hood and in the streets, you see that struggle. They out there, they trying to live. They, you know, catching their own food. You know what I mean? They hustling. They selling what they can, and they're just on the island. So that's all they got is what they get from the island. So I just wanted to show that. You know what I mean?
Now, what does Jeezy do to relax? Now, you talk about all the work you're doing and all the hats that you have. How does Jeezy relax?
Smoke weed in the back of the Phantom.
He probably has sex.
All that. Nah, man, I like to just be around my homies, man. Like, to be honest with you, like, you know, they just, you know, I like to be around them, man, because, you know, it's like they just keep me on point. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, I like the club when I can and just kind of just touch the people. Like, that's relaxing to me.
You like going to the club? Just
yeah, I mean, just to hear the music and to be around, you know, people you really kick it with. You know what I mean? And just to see the people and see what's going on. That's how I relax. You know what I mean? I go out. And it's like I ain't got to do nothing today. Like, I ain't got to get on the mic, you know what I mean, and shout nothing out or nothing. I just want to be in here with everybody else. Yeah.
Now, for somebody that's listening from out of town, listening right now, when they come to Atlanta,
oh man,
like, all right, let's talk before. Besides Frankie, shout to Frankie, where should they go eat? What's a good place in Atlanta that somebody should go eat?
I mean, it depends on what type of food. What type of food you
Soul
got?
food.
Soul food. Busy Bees.
Busy Bees.
Chanterelles.
Okay.
You know, if it's seafood, Spondivas.
Now,
it's bougie food, Ocean Prime. You know
now, gentleman club. Where should they go if they want to go to a nice gentleman club if they coming from out of town?
You mean a strip club?
Yeah.
All right, a strip club. I'm trying to say
Gentlemen's club.
You know, we got
that's how light-skinned people say strip club.
There's little kids that's listening, man.
Strip club. Man, you know, I like Blue Flame, man. You know, Blue Flame, you know, that's my get up. You know what I mean? But you know, you go Blue Flame, Magic City, you know, Follies, you know what I mean? Definitely Strokers, you know what I mean? You know, if you really hood with it, you can go to Babes, I don't know, you know what I mean?
Now, where should they stay away? If they're coming from out of town, they be like, you know what?
Stay away?
If they want to be safe. You know, a lot of people listening, you know, from different places. They come to Atlanta for the first time.
Oh, God.
Where should they not make that left turn? Like, if you're talking New York, you might say, don't go to Queensbridge. Don't go to Brooklyn, you know?
Yeah, right? No, but, you know, it's just like, you know, when people come, they go to the premier clubs, you know, everything that's really in the city. But if that's your get up, you know, it's cool, Compound, all that stuff. But you know, when you start going on the outskirts and going to those real clubs, then you know that's Atlanta. That's the real Atlanta. You know what I mean? That's where you see what Atlanta's really about. So if you want to see Atlanta, I would go to those places.
Okay.
Now, why did you switch management? You was with Kevin Lyles, and now you with Rock Nation.
You know, I'm pretty much with my team. I'm with Agency 99 right now. You know what I'm saying? You know, Jay and everybody helped me, you know, get my stuff together because I wanted to have my own team. So it just kind of pointed me in the right direction. I just always wanted to have my own team because, you know, I with all the knowledge and everything that I went through, I want to be able to, you know, just with the whole YG situation and how I was able to be instrumental, my team was able to be instrumental in that. I just want to be able to do that for others. And that started with just having your own team. So, you know, shouts out to Agency 99. We did this whole thing ourselves this time, and it really worked out for me. You know what I mean?
Who do you listen to when you're putting your album together on what you should keep on the album and what you shouldn't, what needs to change?
Oh man, you don't even want to know those conversations, man. Like, you know, me and my man 1-5, we go back and forth every day. It's just like, you know, it's crazy. And shouts out to hip hop. This time we, you know, hip hop was involved. You know what I'm saying? He did a great job. And Don Cannon, you know what I mean? Shouts out to him. And
shout out Don Cannon. He's in here tonight.
Yeah,
He's in here now. I was going to say tonight, this morning.
Tonight.
With Don Cannon. I seen him popping around.
Yeah, so it was just like, you know, it was pretty much a group effort this time because my music is like my kids, you know what I'm saying? It's like my children, all 19, 18 songs. It's like you don't want to get rid of none of them, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, I wake up some mornings and I want to keep this, and then I go to sleep some nights and I want to take that off. Right. And it was just like a whole bunch of that, but at the same time, when I sat down and we all put it together, and we all came together, it just made all the sense in the world.
How many songs did you do?
I didn't even do a lot this time, maybe like 40, 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I do albums, I do 100, 200 songs, you know what I mean? But I really know what I wanted this time. Right. I knew it was the keepers, you know what I mean?
Now, for somebody who had their foot in the street like you did, do you feel like you can escape the karma of your past?
Nah, not at all, man. I mean, I strive for it every day, you know what I mean? Everything that I do, you know what I mean? Just everything, you know, just all the charitable stuff I do, and just, you know, everything I just try to do for my people. I just think it's like being a, you know, college football player that goes pro that's from the hood. Like, you know, you're going to always have that element around you, but sometimes, you know, it just reminds you of why you got to keep going and why you got to go harder, and that's just, you know, how I take it. It's just like, I am who I am, you know what I mean? You know, hate it or love it, you know what I mean? And that's just how I live life. You know, I'm kind of actually proud of myself from being where I'm from and being able to put other people on and give other cats jobs and opportunities and stuff like that, because where we from, you know, that don't happen.
Right.
And I was able to do that with just my hustle and just, you know, my vision.
So when you say you can't escape the karma of your past, what do you expect to happen?
I mean, I just expect, you know, I expect, you know, one day they'll eventually roll over and they'll see it my way. You know what I mean? And I'm going to keep pushing until they do. You know, everything that happens and you have those minor setbacks, my mind is already thinking about, you know, how I'm going to come back up, how I'm going to be stronger, how I'm going to be better, how I'm going to be smarter, how I'm going to be wiser. You know, that's my thought process. And it's just like, you're going to make mistakes in life. You know what I mean? That's what this album is about. You know, you're going to make mistakes, but it's like, how you going to overcome it?
Right.
You know what I mean? Adversity, man. It's just like, I ain't got nothing but me. You know what I'm saying? And I can only tell you what I've been through, and I can only put that in my music. And it sells millions of records because people believe it and they live by it. And when people see me, that's why I'm 10 years in the game and I still got respect and I still got love, because they know I'm for real with it. And it ain't just nobody just talking to you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I pride myself in that, you feel me?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Jeezy, we appreciate you for bringing us down here.
Seen it all in stores.
Give it up for Jeezy one time. Make sure you pick up the album. Seen it all in stores right now. Shout out to our family at Bossip. Shout out to Karen Civil. Shout out to Don Cannon.
Yeah.
Shout out to the whole Def Jam staff. Shout out to Frank Ski and allowing us to be here all day long.
And salute the Streets 94.5.
Shout out to Streets 94.5 and the whole A for allowing us in the city. We love you guys.
Yes, my girl Sarah's here. Freddie O. Everybody for coming through. ExclusiveAccess.net.
And Jeezy, Bossa wanted me to tell you that Keisha Cole's single now, and they want to see y'all back together.
I knew it. That's more your speak, though. Go ahead, bro.
All right, let us know what you want to hear. It's time to get into a Jeezy mix. Hashtag.